Jay was on some, yo, I don't know what's going on, but fix it. And Dame was on some, all right, I'm on it. Don't worry. By the time you get home, gonna be right.
And he didn't do it.
Jay got home and stood 10 toes down on it.
And he
jackhammered.
And he never corrected it.
No.
That's okay.
So that's what did it, bro. It drove the knife. In my opinion, it split up a family. We had a family of Harlem and Brooklyn together.
Yes.
And because stood 10 toes on that, it separated our family.
You're right.
Everybody thinks the split between Jay-Z, Dame Dash, and Camron was about ego, pride, attitude, who wanted more shine. That's the story people been running with for years. But what if that's not what really happened? According to Memphis Bleek, the whole thing came down to one phone call, one promise, and one man standing 10 toes down when it mattered most. Bleek says before Jay even came home, he personally put Jay and Dame on the phone. Jay's message was simple: I don't know what's going on, but fix it. Dame's response: I'm on it. Don't worry. By the time you get home, it'll be right.
And just, speaking about the what ifs, and it's like I always think about that, Fates, because we had the strongest crew in the world, bro. You had State Property. You had Jay, Biggs, and Dame. You had Dipset, just when they first started brewing. Then I was there. Then you had my crew, Get Low, running with us. Like, bro, we had an unstoppable crew. Everything in the game would have been domino effect. Fell right into the lap of Rocafella.
You wanna know what went wrong? You wanna know what went wrong?
What?
My opinion. What really went wrong?
Yeah, I want to hear from your side.
My perspective, what went wrong, I know your crew, I know Bean's crew, and I know Jay, I know Big. The biggest mistake he made. And I don't care what comes after. I don't think anything does. Everything does, just how I feel.
But when Jay got home, it wasn't right. And instead of backing down, instead of smoothing it over, somebody stood firm. No correction, no adjustment, no retreat. And according to Bleek, that moment drove the knife and split what used to be a family. This wasn't just a label. This was Harlem and Brooklyn moving as one. This was loyalty mixed with money. This was power mixed with friendship. And when those lines get blurred, somebody always pays the price.
Cam should never thought he could be the president of Rocafella Records.
That's a fact.
And not because of you, because as I know, I was there and I know how it made people feel.
That's right.
He was wrong for that. He might have not meant it to come out this way. It was wrong.
So the real question is, was this about disrespect, control, or who really had the final say when the money started multiplying? Because if Bleek is telling it straight, the rock didn't fall apart over ego. It cracked because a promise wasn't kept. And nobody was willing to bend. Before everything cracked, this wasn't just a label. This was a machine. You had Rocafella Records running like a championship squad. On one side, you had State Property moving heavy. You had Jay-Z, Dame Dash, and Kareem Biggs Burke calling shots at the top.
But it's so whack that
a good thing going, but
it took 30 years
to say it.
To admit that, like, Dame stood on it, bro. When Jay came home, it was saying Hovey's home. Dame stood on it. He didn't backtrack it. It was like, yo, he was bugging. He went on it. These my I'm with them.
Dame regretted. He said, "You can't." You're
so
right. Dame regrets it. He said that. He regrets it.
You know what I'm saying? So in hindsight, he kind of fueled the lie.
Then the Diplomats, Dipset, was just starting to bubble crazy out of Harlem. And according to Memphis Bleek, it felt unstoppable. He said, bro, we had the strongest crew in the world. And when you really look at it, he's not lying. Every move was lining up, albums dropping, streets locked in, the culture watching. It was like every domino in the game was falling right into Rock's lap.
Yo, Bleek, you're right. And Damon regrets that.
No, that's a fact.
He should have said when he came home straight up, you're not going to be the president. I was thinking of doing something.
You know what's so ill about that, though? Because I even said it on my part with Cam. Dame and Jay had a conversation about that. I put these two men on the phone.
This wasn't just about hits. This was about territory. Harlem and Brooklyn unified, crews running together, momentum building. If that unity stayed solid, the whole industry might have looked different today. But that's what makes what happened next hit even harder.
Before Jay even came home, and the words from Dame on that phone was, things were gonna be, this was bull, it's nothing. But when Jay came home, it was opposite.
Because when you go from being the strongest crew in the world to picking sides, something serious had to go wrong. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. According to Memphis Bleek, the biggest mistake wasn't screaming, arguing, or ego trips. It was a title, a position, a power move. Bleek said straight up, Cam should never thought he could be the president of Rocafella Records. And he didn't say it with hate. He said it like somebody who was there, watching how it made people feel. When Camron stepped into that lane, even if he didn't mean it the wrong way, it shifted the energy. Because at the top, you already had Jay-Z and Dame Dash running the structure.
So
it was with Jay and Dame having a conversation. What did Jay say?
Jay was on some, I don't know what's going on, but fix it. And Dame was on some, all right, I'm on it. Don't worry. By the time you get home, gonna be right.
And he didn't do it.
Jay got home and stood 10 toes down on it.
And he
jackhammered.
And he never corrected it.
No.
That's okay.
So that's what did it, bro. It drove the knife. In my opinion, it split up a family.
Titles at that level aren't just words. They define control, authority, and who answers to who. And Bleek made it clear, it wasn't about talent. It wasn't about who was hotter. It was about hierarchy. He even said Dame stood on it. No backtracking, no cleaning it up when Jay came home. No saying, it was misunderstood. It just stayed there. And when something like that stays hanging in the air, it turns into tension real fast.
We had a family of Harlem and Brooklyn together.
Yes.
And because stood 10 toes on that, it separated our family.
You're right.
And it became that side versus this side. When fired all the employees that was from Brooklyn. Remember, it was only Harlem employees in Rocafella at the coming in the
Jay
days.
Took all of them. He took
because everybody Dame fired, Jay hired.
He hired Lenny. Well, he didn't fire Lenny. Well, yeah.
Yes.
Lenny's not from. He took Carlene.
Yeah.
He took all the crew. Bottom line is that, man, I'm with you, man. I was like, yo, what the is going on? And that's when I just thought Bleek didn't like me no more.
Nah.
Everybody was so tense. Bleek, Beans, his crew, for
like
crazy
Beans.
guns,
and I always felt like them, like me, I ain't gonna lie. I never said it, but I said to you because we family.
Yeah.
And I just...
Because once somebody feels like lines got crossed at the executive level, it's not just music anymore. It becomes business. It becomes ownership. It becomes who really runs this. And from that moment on, things weren't moving like a united crew anymore. This is the moment right here. According to Memphis Bleek, he personally put Jay-Z and Dame Dash on the phone before Jay even came home. Not rumors, not secondhand talk. He said he connected the call himself. Jay's words were simple. I don't know what's going on, but fix it. That's it. No yelling, no drama, just fix it. And Dame's response, I'm on it. Don't worry. By the time you get home, it'll be right.
Brushed it off like, maybe I'm bugging. I ain't going to look too. But I always felt State Property played both sides of the fence with that.
Really?
Yes. All of them. I always felt that. Because to be over here with us, then you would hear albums and niggas on it.
That's funny. Damn.
So, and it's never like, and I felt like if it wasn't nothing, then you should have been more vocal on trying to piece it up.
That's what you ain't, all of us. Me, I didn't know what my place was. I knew I wanted to tell J.O.J. fix that shit, please.
But yeah, nobody was, it was only me and you.
Yeah,
that's it.
You're right.
Me from our side,
and me from our side,
and you from their side.
Jay told
that's
me
it.
Dame would never be broke. Good guy, bad guy. Because I got the money, Jay got the mouth. They're gonna hate Dame. But who cares?
Everybody was looking at me. Okay. Everybody was looking at me like, Bleek, fuck out my face with that shit you talking about. Dame said we gonna be millionaires. You don't hear this?
That sounds clean, right? That sounds like unity. That sounds like leadership handling business. But Bleek says when Jay came home, it wasn't fixed. No correction, no adjustment, no clarification about the presidency talk. Nothing got walked back. And when Jay saw that, he stood 10 toes down on his position.
And I used to be looking at like,
takes time.
Okay, you think gonna find the million and give it to you? Cool. If that's what you believe that. Cause I know I ain't giving I find the millions, I'm not giving it to none of my homies. We can live together, I give you some bread, but I'm not giving you the million, then me go find my million. No.
Bleek said that moment drove the knife. That's heavy, because this wasn't just co-workers disagreeing. This was a family split. Harlem and Brooklyn, artists and executives, friends who built something from the ground up. And once Jay stood firm, it became side versus side. No more quiet tension. Now it was visible. Now it was structural. Now it was loyalty being tested. One phone call, one promise, one decision not to bend. And from that point on, Rocafella was never the same again. This is where things stopped being private and started getting political.
It don't work that way, bro. Like, and I used to tell that. Gonna give you something they're not. Remember, Dame retired, told they gonna retire like Hov when we was in the Garden.
He did so.
Anybody retired like that? When I said none of us is gonna retire like that, Dame looked at me like, Bleek, you ain't with the team? No, I just was with reality. None of us was that lit.
After that phone call fallout, it wasn't just tension in the air. According to Memphis Bleek, it turned into sides. Harlem versus Brooklyn. Loyalty versus loyalty. Employees started getting let go. And Bleek says when people from Brooklyn were removed, Jay-Z brought some of them back. That move right there changed the temperature in the room. Now it wasn't just about a title. It was about who controls the building, who controls the payroll, who controls the direction. And that's when the energy shifted heavy. Bleek even said he felt like some crews were playing both sides. He mentioned how state property would be around one side, then pop up on albums from the other side. And in his mind, if it really wasn't tension, why wasn't anyone being louder about fixing it? That's a real question. Because when things are solid, people speak up to protect unity. But when things are shaky, everybody gets quiet. Everybody starts protecting their own position.
That's it.
It's hot, but you talking about money hot.
Nobody ain't in no position to throw no walk away concert in the Apollo, let alone the Garden.
Yeah, the rich people were Jay,
Dame, and Biggs. That's
rich.
it.
Yeah, they were rich. Yeah.
That's it, bro. Like everybody else was just getting by, man. That's why
we got 8 on his team who from the hood. He got to make sure they surviving. Beans got his people, so he got to take care of them. He got to make sure they're okay. And so, Bleek, you're absolutely right, man.
Bleek admitted he didn't even know where he stood at one point. That's how divided it felt. Imagine being in a crew that once moved as one, and now you're trying to figure out which room you belong in. And once the lines are drawn inside the building, it's almost impossible to erase them. Now this is where the emotion fades and the business kicks in. In the interview, Memphis Bleek started talking about something people don't like to admit. The money wasn't flowing how everybody thought it was. There was this idea floating around that everybody was about to be millionaires, that the whole crew was retiring together, that it was all one big winning circle. But Bleek basically said, slow down. He made it clear that at the top, the real money was with Jay-Z, Dame Dash, and Biggs. They were the executives. They were the ones with equity. Everybody else, they were grinding, surviving, taking care of their own crews. Bleek even broke it down simple. Just because somebody says, we all gonna be millionaires, doesn't mean that's how ownership works. He basically hinted that structure matters more than hype. Titles matter. Equity matters. Contracts matter. And this is where the narrator lens comes in. When friendship mixes with executive power, somebody has to define who actually owns what. Because once the numbers get bigger, feelings get louder. If roles aren't clearly defined, if authority isn't locked in, eventually somebody is going to stand firm on their position. And when that happens, the money follows structure, not emotion. That's the part people skip over. It wasn't just hurt feelings. It was business alignment breaking down. And once business alignment cracks, even family can't always hold it together. So now we gotta ask the real question. Did Jay-Z make the right move for long-term wealth, even if it cost him his relationships with Dame Dash and Camron? Or did standing 10 toes down protect the business, but damage the brotherhood forever? Because from Memphis Bleek's perspective, this wasn't loud chaos. This was a quiet decision that changed everything. One side stood firm, the other side stood firm. And when nobody bends at the top, the whole structure shifts. Some people say Jay chose power, others say he chose stability. Some say Dame was protecting loyalty, others say emotions got mixed with executive control. But here's the bigger question. If you were in that position, would you protect the structure and secure the future, or would you protect the relationships and risk the power balance? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. And if you rock with this kind of deep hip-hop breakdown, make sure you subscribe to Dripzine, hit that like button, and share this video so more people can see it. We're building something real over here, so if you can, tap that hype button and help a small content creator grow. Appreciate every single one of you for watching. Thank you.